Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 3 of the Turfway Park Replay Review presented by the Auxiliary Gate Network. I'm Broaddus, and I'm joined by a handful of cast of characters here. I see Alan Schneider is with us. Hello, Alan.
What's up, my man? Sorry to be doing this live and everybody see my face, but such is the game, right?
TV Trey server. Pharmacist to the stars. And, of course, making his triumphant return to the airwaves, we call him sometimes Brandon Jaggers.
Happy to be back. Merry Christmas. Christmas edition.
All right. Welcome to everybody. Merry Christmas to all who's watching. Why are we doing this? What we want to do is try to help our viewers and our friends and our handicappers and alike. We want to point out great performances, bad trips, horses to watch. Hopefully we find a horse that might help you cash a ticket somewhere down the line. If you're just a fan of the sport, just enjoy what we have to say. This is our prognostications, and this is our observations from the week that was at Turfway Park. Now, we want to remind everybody to like, share, and subscribe. Show some class. Share this with your handicapping friends, somebody that might be interested in this. And always hit that subscribe button. That lets us know that you're interested in our product. Now, let's get started. Let's talk about our jockey of the week, and that was Fernando de la Cruz. Rode 4 winners. There were several jockeys that came in with 3 winners apiece, but Fernando de la Cruz earns the honors of jockey of the week, trainer of the week. It was a tie between Steve Asmussen and Jimmy Corrigan, but our staff of voters decided to go with Jimmy Corrigan. We've granted him the trainer of the week, and congratulations to both Fernando de la Cruz and Jimmy Corrigan. All right, let's get started. We've got 8 races we want to cover, and Alan's going to lead us off. We're going to actually rewind a week. He said we missed one last week, so we're going to go to December the 12th. Alan likes a horse in here that he wants, or he likes a trip. Excuse me, he doesn't like a trip, and he wants to talk about 3 on the tee, 3 on the tree.
Yeah, most people would think I picked this horse simply because it's Michelle Lovell's, and I will not actually deny that. But I wanted to point out that not everything about bad trips is about the trip itself, the stumbling at the break, all these things that you see. Sometimes, and oftentimes, it's more pace compromised and how the pace, the shape sets up. And I think this is a good example here. This is the $15,000 non-winners of 3 lifetime, and 3 on the tee for Michelle's been searching for her friends, searching for his friends. And this spot looked really good. The unfortunate aspect in the race is that the 2-to-1 favorite trained by Michael Pino, you knew if this horse were able to get the clear, easy lead, he'd be very tough to beat. And that's exactly what happened. I'm sure much of the dismay of many of the other riders in the race. I lucked out. The horse I'm talking about, the favorite under Alvin Jimenez, was able to clear off by 2 lengths, set just easy, soft fractions, clear lead, 24, 48, yada, yada, yada. And if you know anything about Alvin Jimenez, he's a great front-end rider. Well, 3 on the tree settles back in 7th. I happen to know they wanted to be a little bit closer to the pace, and actually the trip was clean. There's nothing wrong with the trip. It's just the fact that the best horse in the race got an easy lead as a dream scenario. But as they hit the turn for home, 3 on the Tree, the Seas Part, gets a great run at the leader. But if you'll watch the race unfold, Alex Ashard goes after the leader. And it was a very valiant effort. We see it often where horses will go after the jockeys will go after the leader to try to win the race. They get tired in chase mode. That's what happened right here. I thought the horse tried all the way to the wire, despite the fact that this horse had so much left in the tank. In the very last few yards, the horse does lose second, which happens oftentimes when you're chasing a lone speed horse. Gets nipped on the wire by Eye in the Game, another horse to keep in mind because that horse stumbled at the break and still managed to get second. But I think 3 on the Tree going forward gets a better pace scenario, perhaps is up on the soft pace or gets a more honest pace to run to. I think Michelle's got herself a winner at this level. 3 on the tee.
Right now, let's take a quick break, and we're going to hear from our friends at twinspires.com. We'll be right back.
When it comes to horse racing, you can never have too much information. With TwinSpires, you can place your bets with confidence. Whether you use handicapping insights like our Brisnet speed ratings, prime power and past performances, the guidance of our experts' top picks, or just choose a name that catches your eye. Yes! No matter how you pick your horse, bet with TwinSpires. And now you can race to victory with TwinSpires tournaments.
All right, welcome back to the Turfway Park replay review. Let's go to race 9 on December 18th. That's Thursday night. We're going to talk about Nothing But Time. Nothing But Time. And yes, this is a low-level maiden claiming race. Why are we talking about this race? Well, they allow betting on these races too. So let's get right to it. Nothing But Time breaks from the 12 hole. You'll see in the red cap, white silks, breaks alertly with Perry Oots aboard, the venerable veteran. And he gets up into the second spot here. This horse comes off a long layoff. I think he last raced in the summer of 2024. And he shows speed right away from the gate. And he actually loops up on the outside here of the 14 horse who outbroke him early in the race. Now they're going to go head and head going into the turn here, and Nothing But Time actually easily puts away the 14 horse, but he's going to have to deal with the Steve Asmussen trained Frosty Vi on the outside, who actually cost $250,000 as a horse in training back as a 2-year-old. So Frosty Vi puts away Nothing But Time as they turn for home. Nothing But Time a little bit short here off the layoff, but he's going to run okay. He's going to finish second. He runs good for about 5 furlongs. And then the rest of the pack's going to catch up with him as Frosty Vi holds off a spicy outsider who dives to the inside here. But it's, as we're going to see, Nothing But Time holds on to finish 6th. Why do we like Nothing But Time? Larry Smith, second off the layoff. Second race off the layoff for 30 days or more. 33 wins in his last 132 starts. 25%. That's a $2.52 ROI. So I would expect this horse to be a player second time off the layoff. All right. Moving right along. Let's go to Friday, race 4. Color Me Cairo. Who's got Color Me Cairo? That sounds like a job for Trey Server.
Me. Okay. So, yeah, the 8, Color Me Cairo here. Gerardo Corrales and Bill Morey. Breaks sharp, and Gerardo decides to pull back a little bit to let the dueling speed take over and get shuffled back a little bit here at the turn. But I do like the way the trip kind of set up for this horse. Now, it seems to me like with the Turfway Park track, it banks on the turns. So you want to be, I feel like, a little wider if you're going to make a rally. And this particular horse, they decided to try to take up the rail. And the horse does not want to split. The eventual winner goes around on the outside. I think it's the 12 here, Mint Driven. And I wish that Gerardo would have tipped out a little bit here and followed him because the horse obviously does not want to go up in there. So if maybe the trips were flipped, this horse would have maybe not won, because I feel maybe if he was still the best horse, still could have gotten up through there. But like I said, it's just shied away from this, and flip him out here. He still has a chance, and just doesn't win this particular race. But like I said, I think if the roles were reversed, and he was on the outside of this 12 horse instead of inside, he would have come with this wide rally. Because at this point of the race now, he's stuck and just kind of hand rides to the wire. And I think the 11 horse here gets the bob. So a Peacock wins the head bob there, and Color Me Cairo kind of fades off. But that is the horse that I would take out of this race for the future.
Yeah, that's an issue us handicappers have to solve. Was it true that the horse would not go through the hole, or is it just a horse in declining form? That was a drop down in class. That filly should have run a little bit better than she did, but she didn't. She wouldn't split those horses. So next time she'll probably show up for the same tag, or maybe even lower. We've got to make the same decision. Do we side with her, or is she going down the ladder? So.
Yeah, and I would have thought from the 8 hole that was a perfect post for the trip. So if maybe they draw inside of that, I still might be a little scared with that happening again. But just something to kind of mark down in your form there that may need an outside stalking trip next time.
All right, let's. I think I skipped one here. Let's go to Thursday. December 19th, race number 5. Lady Go-Go. Brandon's got this one. Let's talk about this filly for Tommy Drury, who was sent off as the favorite. Have at it.
Yeah, so I saw Lady Go-Go number 9 in the 9 path. We got the bug rider on Irvin Makata before he had to add weight because he keeps winning at the low weights. But as you can see through the first turn, the horses were pretty much in his zone, doing really easy. And then right about here in the first turn, I think the saddle slips. You won't read this in any of the charts or commentary as to how this horse is ridden. But if you want to look where these feet are with Irvin Mokata up, the bug boy, I mean, this is the perfect example of how to race a horse on his neck. So if you look at his feet and where that saddle towel is compared to everybody else, it's pretty obvious that there's malfunction of equipment here. But the horse really did quite easily, even though the horse was probably in a lot of discomfort. You got your second choice. He was the second betting choice of the night in this race. I mean, it's pretty apparent. But you got a great trainer on the week we're in this race, Jimmy Corrigan. But I think there's a lot to be said for this horse coming out again for Tommy. And I would suspect Irvin Mokata gets the mount back again.
Look at this turn of foot from Stay Lost, going from last to first at the quarter pole. Very impressive. Can she sustain this eager move through the turn? And it is Stay Lost who has come away with the lead. Lady Go-Go still has a little fight. She races inside of She's a Little Stinker. What happens in the 4th spot? But Stay Lost means business. She has sustained this charge, and she keeps on going strongly. Stay Lost. She was anything but lost tonight. She's a good-looking winner. What happened second? Then High Shot. She's a Little Stinker. And Lady Go-Go.
Lady Go-Go, not a go-go, for Tommy Drury. We'll see who gets them out next time, but horse has got a lot of promise on the next start.
Yeah, Lady Go-Go had one start prior to this effort, going 6.5 at Churchill, and then stretched out to a mile and 16th. And yeah, with the trouble that you mentioned there and that we saw, I think she's going to be a handful if she turns back, even going 6.5. She's by McLean's Music out of a Harlington mare, so you get speed on the top, and the dam side is route racing. So a little bit of everything here. So this filly could probably do either one. So yeah, looking forward to see what Lady Go-Go can do next time. All right, let's get back in order here. Let's go to December 20th. That's Friday night, race number 8. Alan wants to talk about Santorini.
All right, we're going what 6.5 here, as I recall, 6.5. But Santorini's a horse I liked a little bit this day, coming back off the shelf for Rudy Brissett. Tough field, and horses won at Turfway, had some really good success back in the fall, in the last fall, and shortens up. And the hope was that the horse would be close to the pace and would be able to use some of that route stamina they had built up over the fall to do run. He does run well here, though. He does run well. He's the 9 horse on the outside, stalking field day, going to take over briefly, but the field is kind of clustered behind him, and it's a slightly uncomfortable trip as we go down the stretch here. They do tend to bunch up, and you'll see Bromley for Paulo Lobo, who loves the racetrack as well, just gearing up the 6 horse in the back, and is going to make mincemeat of this field, blowing away down the stretch. But I think the thing to keep in mind is that Santorini emerges from this pack to be kind of a clear second for a while. Now, there's no stopping the winner, Bromley, but Santorini digs in off the layoff, off the bench, and runs a pretty game race. Now, she will get caught here for third as a horse rallies between the two. But going forward, off the bench, Brissett has positive ROI off the bench. And if you look at this as a tightener, maybe we see this horse sprint again. I think we'll see this horse route. If you look at this as a prep race, I'd say Santorini is ready to do his best work again in the future, depending, as always, on where they spot the horse. But I did like the comeback effort of Santorini for Rudy Brissett.
And there we go. Second race after the layoff of 30 days or more, 13 wins and 76 starts. 17%, not all that impressive, but that $2.12 ROI is something to keep an eye on. Santorini in 5 starts at Turfway Park has never been off the board. Looks like a horse ready for a step forward to me.
Absolutely.
Okay, now let's turn the page. We're going to go to Saturday. We've got 3 races to cover on Saturday. Alan's the workhorse tonight, and we're going to talk about for the ladies, for the girls.
For the girls, FOUR, for the girls. All right, again, as I mentioned, I think when we led the show off, not all trips are about horses that stumble, horses that get stuck. Sometimes horses just run really honest races, despite the fact that they win, which is what For the Girls did. The reason I wanted to highlight this John Ennis trainee is because this horse at the $15,000 level, the only debut in the field, wins going 2 turns on the lead. That's hard to do, going 2 turns on the lead on your debut. And I would also add the trainer John Ennis, who's had a fantastic year. Rarely wins first time out. Usually the second start we see John Ennis' horse improve. What impressed me is, yes, he got the lead, but he's going through pretty solid fractions for level 23 and 2. What I found impressive is, again, we're talking about our buddy Irving Moncada, who's just had an amazing Turfway meet so far. This horse, despite being the lone debut in the field, repels 3 challenges throughout the race to win going away. We'll see the first one right here with the long shot Prison Bound, who takes an earnest move at For the Girls. Moncada never panics. He's riding the horse confidently and eventually shakes off that horse to where Matthew Sims's horse, our buddy Matthew Sims, makes a bold move from the outside with Here's Gracie. Now, by all accounts, like I thought Here's Gracie was going to go right by For the Girls, but Irving Moncada has yet to touch this horse. And he's hand riding, and as we'll see, he eventually shakes off Here's Gracie and begins to edge away. And I believe Irving hits the horse maybe once, maybe twice, despite he never panics. And now after holding off 2 horses, here comes a third, and that's Pittoro de Oro on the outside, the 11 horse, who makes one more honest run. But Irving knows he's got the horse wrapped up and hand rides the wire. So I saw 2 taps of the whip, maybe shook the reins a little bit, repelled 3 challenges at the $15,000 level. And as I said earlier, John Ennis' horse really improved second time out. So I think this horse you're going to see jump up in class. Perhaps we see him at the $30,000 level. And I'm also guessing that a lot of trainers there took note. If they enter this horse back for claiming tag, I would think he might be popular at the claim box. So let's keep an eye on For the Girls moving forward for John Ennis.
They may try an allowance race with this filly next time. Would not be surprised in the slightest.
Starter allowance, perhaps?
Definitely start allowance first, and then then a other than for this nice filly. Yeah. So let's go later in the card now, and Brandon's up next. He likes Ghost Nation. making his first start off the layoff. Let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, I would tell you the first start or off the layoff for this horse gets absolutely pummeled by the 7 horse coming out, and you can see it just takes back, I believe, in the whole race. Just not really in the picture at first call. Kind of snaps back out of it. We got Fernando de la Cruz up for Pavlo Macheka as the trainer, but the start pretty much told the story for this horse at the beginning. Just got smashed, take back, and tried to regroup. I mean, I really like what the horse did to respond after that. A lot of horses, once you take such a huge hit like that, or just they're just totally out of their game, especially young horses like this maiden special weight. But I think the horse has got a lot of promise. This race, compared to the last one I reviewed, it's got a lot more pace, a lot more speed. The race is a 2-second difference maiden special weight compared to the one on the 19th. So I would look at this horse. Was definitely green, even coming down the lane, was on the wrong lead coming home. But I think this horse has got a lot more potential to close in the third start of its career. It just is unbelievable smack at the gate. And I think the horse to get fourth in a competitive field like today, or like on December 21st, I think it's a big win, actually, a big move forward for number 6, Ghost Nation. So I'd be looking for Ghost Nation again. Here he is coming down the lane. Looks like on the wrong lead, still green, but man, really galloped out, gave a big effort, and really came in and started closing and passing a lot of runs after that gate break. So I'd look for Ghost Nation once again in the next start. I would hope to see him probably in the next 2-3 weeks. We'll see how fast they run it back, but I love the condition. I like the distance for this horse. I think there's a lot of promise. I think Fernando de la Cruz has been riding lights out, hustling for the minors even, and finishing strong no matter what. So I like seeing that and seeing the hunger out of the jock as well.
Yeah, Fernando de la Cruz, our jockey of the week. Looking forward to Ghost Nation. Let's see what he can do going forward. Okay. Last but not least, this is our race of the week. It was an allowance race, and it featured the return of Epic Ride, who was the hot horse last winter for John Ennis. Trey, let's talk about the feature race of the week.
Yeah, so Epic Ride came into this race as the 2-5 favorite on the outside in the 8-hole. Foxtrot Anna, the 3 horse with Sophie Doyle, goes guns a-blazing out there. Goes 22-44, and John Ennis, Adam Beschizza for John Ennis, makes a what I feel like a premature move into that fast pace. And the winner, the 1 horse, BD Valesky, just comes flying off the turn. And congratulations to those connections and Greg Foley. And like I said, they went 22-44. 1:10 for the final, I believe, was the end time there. But like I said, I felt like Epic Ride should have waited a little bit longer. They were going to come back to him, so there's no reason to kind of hit the gas pedal. He still ran a great race, and I know I talked to John personally, and they are looking for potentially a dirt race next out. So I'd be looking for that horse. That still has a lot of promise, even though for the first 2 starts hasn't done very well. But as you see, BD coming off the turn here and just flies by them all. So this horse is showing some big talent here. And if he gets the pace set up its next outing, I couldn't see why this horse couldn't do it again. So like I say, congratulations to them. But for me, it's obviously all about Epic Ride, and I hope for their connections, they come out of this race well and can continue the momentum that they had last year. So
it seemed like they slowed the track down significantly. The weekend before, it was kind of like a paved highway, but a lot of these races went 24-49, 114, like you said, and then this 6 furlong sprint, it kind of returned to the old Turfway. It went 22-44. Probably had a you're probably right. Epic Ride probably could have used a little more patient ride, but I'm sure Beschizza was feeling it, and that was he was probably a little short. But yeah, I think it was a nice effort nonetheless from him, I think, off the layoff. And he's probably got a lot to offer going forward. So anything else before we sign off? Anything else, guys, you want to add?
I'll add one thing real quick. You mentioned Fernando de la Cruz being your jockey of the week, and I would agree with that. But maybe tip a cap to Yarmari Correa. You mentioned Jimmy Corrigan, Yarmari Correa, the female rider who rides for Jimmy Corrigan. He won 3 races in the past week, and she was on all 3 of them. And she made bold moves on the turn from far back in each one of them. I thought that takes a lot of courage, and she's really good at riding from up the inside too, which again takes a lot of courage. Maybe a little honorable mention to Yarmari Korea.
No doubt about it. Really underrated rider.
Agreed.
And also, I wanted to add as well, I noticed that a lot of the horses from Horseshoe, Indiana, have been coming in here and running very well. So, like I said, it seems maybe a lateral move or even a better move. And they've been running better than the Churchill Keeneland horses that maybe are the cheaper claimers that are going down south. So I wouldn't discount those horses one bit. And you're getting good odds on all those horses too.
Right. That's true. Okay. Saturday, into the last racing day of the year in Kentucky. That means mandatory payouts in all the pools, pick 6, pick 5, even pick 4s if there was ever a 3 out of 4. There's no carryovers after Saturday. So keep that in your wagering plans. And that's all for now. We want to wish all of our friends a the gambling money ain't got no home. See you next week.